Hey guys, welcome to another Top 5 Tech, this time featuring Zarya. Let's get right into it. Number 1. If you find yourself duo tanking with another Reinhardt and he's absorbing a lot of damage with his shield, it's often effective to give him your projected barrier even though it seems like a terrible time to do so. The thing is, the barrier pokes through the front of his shield, so first it will absorb some of the damage that his shield would take, and second, you'll get some charge that you can use to help push. Number 2. You can easily and consistently squeeze more value out of every magazine as Zarya. You probably noticed that there's an amount of time between every secondary fire. Well, you can actually primary fire between those shots for extra damage. This does more than that though. If you do it perfectly, you'll end up with something like 5 charge by the time you're shooting the last secondary fire. This gives you the same projectile that would usually cost 25 ammo for 5. So by primary firing between secondaries, you're increasing your damage output and value per magazine at, seemingly to me, no loss. Number 3. If you see one of your allies is getting focused to the point that the enemy has burned through your projected barrier, you can give yourself your particle barrier and stand in front of that teammate for more damage absorption. This works surprisingly well because your barrier is much bigger than your model, so it acts like a mini Reinhardt shield and you're optimizing the cooldown, as otherwise your personal shield would be wastefully going unused. Number 4. There are a few creative uses for Zarya's ult that can be the best way to use it in a given situation. For one, if you're trying to hold a point during overtime, you can bunch up a ton of enemies off the point, which can be an easy win if the overtime's been going on for a little bit, as the timer decreases the longer it's being held. Second, the ult can be used to pull enemies off of the cliff and hold them there, resulting in some easy environmental kills. Number 5. So you probably think that Zarya is one of the few tanks that doesn't have a method of increasing their mobility. Well, that's incorrect. Zarya can use her secondary fire to jump shoot under herself for a significant amount of added speed. Given the fact that this inflicts a measly 40 damage, your shields can regenerate it, and you'll likely be passing some health packs on the way, this is definitely a legitimate method of getting back to the first point on defense when your team really needs you, or many other situations. Alright guys, well that was my list. I hope you learned something, and have a good one. Stick around for a second guys. If you've been following me for a long time, I'd appreciate it if you headed to my Patreon page and pledged $1 or so a month for my content, because a ton of work goes into it. Thanks for considering.